Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Mindful Motherhood Monday. I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about the invisible mum and those feelings of being unappreciated as a mum, which we all feel at some point in our journeys as parents. I'm talking about mums because that's what I am and that's what I know, but obviously that includes dads as well who feel unappreciated, or other caregivers who feel unappreciated. I just want to talk about appreciation, and at the end of the video I'm going to share with you some statistics about how worthy is a mum's role in the family. And this part of the video will be at the end, and it's a little bit of fun. It's not supposed to be taken too seriously, but it's the research that I've done which can show how much we do for our families and how little appreciation we get for it. But I wanted to start talking about those feelings of being invisible in the family, which sometimes we do, and I also want to share my feelings and my experience as well. I would love for you guys to comment below with your experiences or your feelings towards this subject. And if you're new around here, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I post Mindful Motherhood videos every Monday at 7 p.m. and it's a great place for us all mums to gather and discuss motherhood, to think a little bit more deeply into our parenting journey, and just to have a chit chat with other mums who just get us. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Right, so I want to start by saying that you are not alone if you feel like that. Because if you've stumbled upon this video whilst looking for anyone talking about feeling invisible as a mum, just know you are not alone. You're not the only one going through it. There's an army of mums behind you, all feeling the same. And you've come to the right place. Being a mum is the most all-inclusive and demanding experience that a woman can go through in her life, isn't it? And perhaps the most unappreciated as well. I've never experienced anything like being a mum. Partially because the person that you're spending all your time and effort and energy and love on can't really appreciate you back, or at least they won't be able to for a really long time until they're old enough to recognize it. So for a long time you have to rely on those half-wind smiles that you get when they're newborn babies, or those weight gains on the scales when you go for a weigh-in, or just how well they interact with other human beings, and know that that's your doing, and that's got to be enough for a long time of our lives. But also the reason why what we do can be so unappreciated is because 90% of the work we do is behind the curtains. It happens when no one is looking. People see you out and about with your children and they're all dressed and you're in the school run, you made it there on time, but they only see the results. They've got no idea how you got there and what you did to get there. And all that work is not seen, and therefore it's hard for other people to appreciate it. But ironically, we don't attach much value to what we do either. And if you're anything like me, when someone is looking after your children for you, you will offer to help them with something to make their lives easier because you know how hard it is to be you. But when you're thinking about being you, you're not giving yourself that credit of how much you're doing. It's impossible to capture or explain what running a family these days entails, especially if you've entered the realm of school-age children, and the sheer volume of things that you have to do and think about suddenly multiply. Even if you were to list every single thing that you do on a day-to-day basis, it would be very difficult for someone to understand how it feels to be a mum in a family unless they are a mum themselves in a family. But I'm going to try and quantify that value at the end of the video by showing you how much a mum is worth per year in a family. I'm going to say something which might be a little bit controversial, but that's how I feel. And I believe that being a mum is massively taken for granted. When you become a mum, it's seen as a life experience that you have been gifted and that you're so very lucky to be having, which it is. But the other side of the coin is the hard work that comes with being a mum and how much guilt we're made to feel for finding those hard times hard. Have you ever been in a situation where you were maybe complaining about something that you've been through today, which was really tough, and someone else got back to you with the answer, well, you're lucky to have children, your children are a blessing, and you just get so overwhelmed by that feeling of guilt that you shouldn't be complaining, you shouldn't be saying that, you feel so ashamed and embarrassed of yourself. I've experienced that many times, and although I do appreciate where those people are coming from with their comment, perhaps they've been through something themselves where they're not able to have children, or they're just trying to inject some positivity into you because you are maybe in a negative mood. But I also feel like that can be a standard answer for every mum who has a problem and is just trying to get some kind of compassion, or I feel you, or I know this is hard. Which is why mums kind of gravitate towards mums, because we just get each other, don't we? I think most of us just want a little bit of appreciation. It doesn't need to be grand gestures. We just want someone to notice and to see everything that we do. Not everything, but you know, the things that we do, the little things, the amount of time that we spend going over the little details and making sure that everything is running smoothly, that everyone's lives are made easier, or just that everybody is alive. We just want that little bit of appreciation. And all of these little things can go completely unnoticed for days, weeks, and months. And it hurts a little bit, doesn't it? It definitely hurts for me when I've spent so much time looking after everybody and looking after the house and the children and the family, and everybody seems to be coping, yet I am craving that little thank you, that little well done, or how hard that must have been for you. I feel embarrassed to admit that I would like a little bit of recognition for what I do, because you know, that perception that being a mum should be done out of love. Everything you do is out of love, isn't it? And at the same time, we want our children to experience a time in their lives where they are blissfully unaware of thank yous and please. They're allowed to have that period where they're completely self-centered, and it doesn't last long. So we want them to experience that. And we have to convince ourselves that during those periods, those robotic thank yous and please are enough. I feel so happy when, like, my husband walks in the kitchen and he says wow when he sees that the kitchen is tidy and clean despite me having the two children around me, and it just fills me with joy. It's like my cup overflows with joy, and that is not much, and it's all we need, but we don't ask for it. And when it comes out, sometimes it comes out in an angry way because we've been bottling it up for so long that we want that appreciation, and it comes out like we demand it, when in actual fact we have just been accumulating lots of little things that we could have been appreciated for, and perhaps we weren't appreciated for them. I think there's still a small part of society that wants women that have become mums to not want or need something for themselves, and to be those completely angel selfless beings that find motherhood a bliss and nothing is hard and everything is worth it. When a lot of the times I love being a mum. It's the most joyful experience of my life, and I also find certain things about being a mum tough, and I get on with those things, and I would like some appreciation for those things. So I have borrowed an appreciation exercise from a website that I found, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was so interesting. It can be very helpful if you're feeling underappreciated, like you're invisible in your house. And this exercise was in an article written by a psychotherapist called Nancy Collier. I hope that I got her name right. So I'm going to go through the 5 steps that you can maybe do to get yourself feeling a little bit more appreciated. So the first step that Nancy says is to acknowledge that your want or your need for appreciation is valid. It's in human nature to want feedback and appreciation for the good work that we do. So don't feel ashamed of it, don't feel embarrassed, don't feel guilty for it. Just acknowledge that it's valid. You would like some appreciation for it, and it's normal. Step number 2 is to talk to another mum. Honestly, that step on its own will help you so much because other mums will totally get you. Even if it's to share their own frustrations, you will bond over your own invisibilities in your family. And trust me, it will make you feel so much better. Step number 3 is to ask for a compliment. Directly ask your partner or your children if they like what you've done and if they would like to say thank you to you. And it's not about forcing them, it's about getting them to understand what's important to you and to recognize that importance. And sometimes all they need is a little bit of a nudge and they will appreciate you. Step number 4 is to give them your appreciation back. So when they do something nice, when your husband cleans the kitchen or cooks for you or looks after the children or does something nice, appreciate them back. When your children tidy up their toys or eat all of their food or whatever they do, appreciate them back, because that will remind them, hopefully, to do it back to you. And the last step is to appreciate yourself. That's possibly the most important step, is to recognize that what you're doing is incredible and that you're very good at what you do and that you do a lot and you deserve appreciation and praise. So do it for yourself as well. Don't ignore that step. That's a very important step. And to end this video, I'm just going to share with you a little bit of research that I did about the value of being a mum in a family. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is supposed to be a little bit of fun. I will share the details of where I got this research in the comments below, in the description box below, if you want to read more about it. It was a really interesting piece of research. So I'm going to leave the link there if you want to read about it. But it's just supposed to be a little bit of a perk me up, because once you hear those numbers, you will be astonished at how much value we have in a family. So I'm going to read this off my phone because there's a lot of numbers here. Let's assume that mum or dad, whoever is like watching this video feeling unappreciated, is in charge of these following things on a daily, weekly, yearly basis: childcare, cleaning, cooking, laundry, shopping, chauffeuring, nursing, and counselling. And let's total all of these up. So the research points out the fact that mums have a childcare duty of about 112 hours per week, and that's for a preschool age child. That totals of £48,921 a year. Cleaning about 8 hours and 5 minutes a week, and that's £4,200 a year. Cooking is 3 hours per week, although I think I do a little bit more than that. That's £6,084 a year. Laundry, 2 hours and 10 minutes per week, and that's £3,740 a year. Shopping is 3 hours per week, and that's £5,460 a year. Chauffeuring, 9 hours a week, £7,582 a year. Nursing, 25 hours a week, that's £10,000 a year. Counselling is 3 hours 45 minutes per week, and that's £4,233 a year, which comes to a total of a mum duty of £90,220 a year, and that is 1.6 million over a period of 18 years. So now, can you quantify your value now? If you're feeling unappreciated, you're worth, on average, £90,000 a year. That is senior management job salary. And the research points out the jobs in order of where a mum would rank in a list of jobs and like earnings per year. So there you go, that's a little bit of uplifting for you. Obviously, like I said, this is just a little bit of fun, and this is not why we do what we do. Let's be honest, that we do because we love our families. But if you need that little reminder that you are important and that you matter, you're not invisible, there's 90 grand a year's of work that you do for your family or more. I hope you guys liked this video. Please do comment below, share your thoughts on this topic. Let me know how you feel in your family, if you get plenty of appreciation, if you don't get enough, if you think that you should be appreciated more. Make sure you click on the link in the description box below to check out that research if you're interested in finding out more about it. I thought it was fascinating to read. I'll link a couple more articles that I read which kind of gave me the idea for this video as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends if you think they might like this video, if they need a little bit of appreciation or perk me up. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button and you'll get notifications when there's a new video from me. I hope you're all having a lovely day and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!